Hello everybody and welcome back to Sable, where it has been a while since I've played, as per usual. I got back to work and usually with this particular crew I don't have to work so late, but I've been working late these last few days and I finally put a reminder in my phone. I was like, just friggin' at least record for an hour. You know what I mean? So anyway, it has been a while, so that's a nice outfit, honestly. Pregame, what are we doing? Let me see. Also, I'm hoping the audio's a little better. This desk is away from like the air conditioning heating unit, which is like huge, and there's like a wall that separates it. Like, this is a really nice hotel room. The refrigerator is tiny, but there's like a little wall part of the desk that separates it from the bedroom part, which I think is a really nice touch, especially if you have to do like office work in the hotel, you know? But no, yeah, anyway. It is a nice room, and my bed's very comfy, and I'm very happy about it, but we have things to do, so we are doing that. I should speak to Hada. The Seven Sisters asking us. I still need to ask around at the seven. I thought I was kind of done. Are those glowworms floating around? I went to the mask person. Yeah, how come I haven't found a way to harvest glow things? There's apparently people here with answers for me, and I've yet to find them. No, I think I mentioned that I might be looking at doing another game. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm looking at doing Outer Worlds. But I hear that game can be like emotionally devastating. At least I don't know. Maybe just it was like something briefly where I was just like the vaguest hint of like, oh my gosh, you'll never be the same. And I'm like, I just need something nice right now. I need something nice. We already talked about this. I will say I think Sable, as pretty as it is, and as much as I like it, kind of lacks for things to do, even though it seems like it should have a lot to do. I feel like a lot of stuff got cut, like I was reading about, you know, like they wanted to put a bunch of stuff in and then they kind of changed the plans last minute. But again, I'm not really sure why it wasn't added later. But if you want, the atmosphere is top notch though. Okay, can you help me with other things besides beetle stuff? Oh, glowworms. With the sinister little creeps. Yes, sinister little creeps. I hate them. They're just awful. But unfortunately, they're of use sometimes, so I've become quite practiced at catching them. Oh, yeah. Wait, no. Oh, no, that was about the beetles. There was something about jumping on the back of the beetles after you feed them. I can advise you'll need to get them down from where they nest in the roof of the cave. To do that, look for sulfurous rocks lying around nearby. You want to write this down to learn taking mental notes. Like, you want to look for sulfurous rock and get them like fused and get them wet. They'll start smoking, and that should be enough to knock the glowworms out and net you your awful slimy quarry. Rather than put her through more, I offer my thanks and move along. What else was there? There's something else I was supposed to find. Oh, we already did that. Oh, that's not here at the Crystal Plateau. Okay, well, there is. I feel like my phone's like popping off right now. Hush phone, I have things to do. Is that even accessible? I don't think I've been to that. What did they say? We needed to go to the southwest? A cave in her coat. You didn't, okay, I cannot, you didn't write it down. I was taking mental notes, and I was assuming the game would take those notes for me. No, I can't ask again. Oh, obviously. I just thought I was like part of the landscape. I'm an idiot. Anyway, okay, it was the southwest. I'm brilliant, actually. How is it that we Well, it has been long enough. Oh, that's good to know. Also good to know. Oh my gosh, where is my beautiful... Come here, my darling. Oh no, oh dear, oh dear, I have done this to you. I'm so sorry, I made you come all the way up here. Oh, I forgot I have this beautiful, beautiful ship. Oh, what button is it? The N? Oh, there we go. This looks so cool. I feel like I'm in Star Wars with this ship. I've been having a hard time kind of reading lately. You know, the horrors persist. Sometimes it's hard to be, like, to find the distraction, like a necessary distraction, right? No, I was trying to inch my way up this. These plateaus are a pain in the butt. Buttes, they're more like buttes than plateaus, but this is pretty cool looking. I don't know, and also, yeah, like I said, work is very absorbing, and I get 6 days off out of the month, you know, so your brain just kind of like, just collapses in on itself sometimes. Luckily I don't, honestly, like, I don't use social media, so, like, the only thing I use really is YouTube. And the second they try to ask me for my ID, I'm gonna be stuck without YouTube also. But, no, come on. That is so extremely doable. It's unreal. Anyway, I've been having a hard time focusing on reading, right? I kind of been going through a couple books, and I was just like, like there was one, I was just kind of going through the motions of reading, because it was promised to be like a reverse, like I love reversal of tropes, where it's like I don't usually, like if it's like, oh, I have this trope, I'm like, don't care, like immediately your book is bad to me if you just start listing off tropes instead of like plot and characters, you know? Oh, it wasn't this cave, this was the cave of the beetles. Oh yeah, because this cave's already on my map. But anyway, I saw like a YouTube short from a woman whose work or whose YouTube stuff I would sometimes watch. It would pop up, and she's like an independent author as well. And she has several series of books, one of which she mentioned as like, it was like part of a thing where it's like people have their complaints about like romance or romantasy or whatever, you know. And one of them's, well, why can't we have a sunshine guy and like a grumpy girl? And she was like, oh, you mean like this? And like showed one of her books, and then she proceeded to do that with a couple others where it was like, you know, oh, you just gotta look around, you know, like there are people who are writing this stuff. And I'm like, I'm sure there are, right? So I was like, okay. So it was a grumpy girl, sunshine guy. I hate grumpy sunshine as a trope usually, because usually the sunshine's an idiot and the grump is just emo for no reason, or like a contrived reason, and I'm like, don't care, you know? And so not usually my favorite, but I always like a reversal, so I was like, that could be interesting. Although to be fair, I was a little worried, because sometimes a lot of YA, since I was, you know, a wee child, growing up in the days of Hunger Games and all that, wow, what is this? You know, you have the girls who are like, I'm a badass, like YA protagonists that are just blank slates and don't actually really do much. Hold on. Of course there's a glowworm here. So to me, people sometimes mistake grumpy for no personality, right? And that's kind of honestly what happened in this book, is she's like, oh, I'm a grumpy character, like I have the grumpy character, like the grumpy girl, like a sunshiny guy. And I got 56% of the way through that book, and the girl is literally just a plot contrivance. She's a cardboard, she's not as bad at, like, the writing wasn't bad, you know, but like the characterization was kind of dull. As in, like, the girl didn't really do anything. Like, she's like, again, I was like, oh, it's not too bad. Like, some things where it's like, I'm a badass assassin, and then you don't see her kill anybody. And I'm like, that's essentially what happens in this one. It's just, she's like, I'm a badass assassin, and then proceeds to have to act like a proper court lady all the time, which is boring. And then, also, then would not, she's like, oh, I could rip this guy's hands off and shove them up his butt or something. You know, but I can't because I'm under orders to not do that sort of a thing right now or something. And I was just like, and she just says that a lot. And I was like, okay, so the only assassinating I ever saw you attempt was against like the guy who ends up being the main character, like the male main character, right? And you failed spectacularly, you know. And she's like, I have so many kills under my belt, and I'm like, but she's not. I guess the thing is that she's not pretentious about it. I almost actually prefer the sort of like dead-eyed person instead of just being like, I'm a bad. Like she does. She says it very straightforward. She's like, yeah, I'm a killer, you know, blah blah blah. But it's not like she doesn't actually like. She's not like being super violent. She's just like, I could break his hands off if I wanted to, but I can't because I'm under obligation or something, you know. So it wasn't as bad as some I've read. But it was just that she was kind of boring and didn't really do anything. And literally was just being puppeted around. Like the guy just is like, he like falls in love with her, I think, basically instantly when she's trying to kill him or something. It's kind of something about breaking his curse and her curse, and etc., etc. And oh, I got totally distracted. Whee, going the wrong way. But yeah, and it's like, oh, he's the sunshine one, and I'm like, well, he's not on 56% through. He's really not on the page very often. The only chemistry between the two is that he's the only one who's ever shown her like a modicum of niceness, who also is a man. She had a sister who was kind to her, but kind of dumb. Oh, is it? This is actually where it was? Did I just... Where am I? Is that actually it? And she's not like developing feelings like super fast, which is good. But like it is what feelings she does have. I'm like, okay, you don't know him. Like, I don't know, like, I think I'm just not the audience, you know, I'm just for these kinds of books oftentimes. I don't believe in, like, you know, I mean, there's lust at first sight, sure, but, like, other than that, I'm like, like, that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm like, that does nothing for me, you know? I like meaningful relationships and characterization and stuff, and... So, anyway, I'm rambling, but, yeah, I do have another one of her books on hold, this woman's books. It seems pretty interesting. Did I climb up the wrong formation? No? And honestly, there was a book, who was it? Oh my gosh, who did I... The woman who wrote The Spell Shop. I didn't like The Spell Shop. Didn't like it. It was like apparently her first foray into the sort of the cozy fantasy genre. Started it, didn't get very far. This was a totally different author, but the character just fell flat. Whatever these are fascinating. Character just kind of fell flat, didn't do anything believable, and the male main character was specifically not described at all, despite some people being centaurs and people having blue skin and like all these cool things. Man, I was assuming this cave would be on the side of the cliff. I did. Hopefully it's on around one of these. Around this thing. What was I saying? But yeah, the male main character is like specifically not described at all, despite everybody else having like really cool descriptors. He's just like, the only thing is that he's tall, and I'm like, okay, sure, whatever, don't care. I actually don't like I don't like it when men loom over me. This must be the cave. God, I've just been rambling. I hope I edit some of that out. Hopefully you guys don't have to hear all about my book rambles as I totally ignore the cave, apparently, or where these things are, but I didn't see any way in. The one I'm rambling about now is written by the author who wrote The Spell Shop. Again, I just thought it was really lazy to not describe the male main character specifically whenever everybody else has cool descriptions, and it was just like, he's tall, and I'm like, okay, what is it? Does he have horns? Like, does he have a tail? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's cool about him? Oh, this is like a lava waterfall, maybe. Maybe I can, like, sideways climb? No, no! Oh, that scared me. You know? I was just like, I don't know. Oh, this is not enough. How is that not enough? How is this not enough to get across? Ho, 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 ho. Okay. Oh, ho, ho. I was like, I don't see a cave. There is a cave. That's so sick. Oh, cool. Oh, this is pretty. Glowworm cave. Can I speak to the rocks? Okay, I was like, excuse me? The glowworms are on the ceiling. So ostensibly I have to move these rocks. Oh, probably just stick them in the lava, huh? I don't remember what I was saying. Sort of. I mean, I know I was talking about that book. Anyway, I thought it was lazy. To just be like, generic, tall man. And I was like, cool. You could have given me a really cool description, but instead you left it for the self-insert girlies. Do I have to, like... Oh! I can just pick up a gazillion glowing mushrooms. But yeah, I didn't like that book, but then I proceeded to read like 3 other books and really enjoyed them. And I think what happened is those ones were a bit more serious, more like adult in tone, as in just like the characters were like in their 30s and 40s, or, you know, read something similar, which again, at this point in my life is something I prefer. And so I was just like, okay, this is cool. You know, I had some interesting, like there was like an interesting necromancy one. Can I just walk on this stuff? This does nothing to me? Okay, cool. Yeah, what was it? Or had like a straight, like actual, like crazy fairy stuff. Like, not like, you know, sexy fairy men with big dicks or whatever is in fantasy romance. But, elves called fairies or whatever. But no, they're like malicious fae. And I was like, ooh, this is cool, you know? I wonder if to put it in every single container, every single whatever these are. Oh, okay, there we go. You gonna do some? Do I have to like put it right below them? Good thing I can stand in lava. How convenient. Oh, there we go. Got that. Give it to me. But yeah, I liked her other works. And I just decided that, you know, maybe she was implementing a new style with the spell shop, and I just didn't like it. Didn't like the main character. I liked the premise a lot. Didn't like the main character. The main love interest guy was just kind of boring. Everybody else was cool, though. Honestly. I'm currently reading a book called The Tainted Cup, which was really popular, I think, like a year ago or something. Um, really enjoying it. It's basically, to me anyway, it reads like I'd heard it mentioned before, but it was like, yeah, just I don't know the way the reviewer I think I listened to spoke about it. I was like, yeah, okay. It doesn't really sound like my cup of tea. But the way I would describe it is Sherlock Holmes set in a Pacific Rim setting, which is wild. Like I don't want to say anything else. Ooh, okay, so it's already lit, and then I can like use it, carry it around, and mess with the rims, maybe. There we go. Oh my gosh, look at him. That was crazy. Alright, I think that's enough. But it's really good. I've liked the Sherlock character, she's really cool. The Watson character, he's pretty cool. Like I don't know, the setting itself, like there's some terms that I'm still like, meh, what? But like I don't know, I don't mind being kind of lost in books that obviously have pretty extensive world building, and I'm like, I am along for the ride. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, yes, I concur with whatever you're saying. Not even concur. I'm like, yes, I accept it. I accept whatever you're saying. You know what I mean? Like, I may not fully understand it, but I feel immersed in something. So, you know. So I don't always have to have perfect understanding. Can I just like walk in this stuff? Oh, I can swim. Maybe it's just like hot water. Maybe it's not lava. Maybe it's just like a hot spring. I guess that would make sense. These are like sulfur rocks. Interesting. Oh man, who wanted the... These were way over here. Way over there. Honestly, I kind of want to just ride over there. It's gonna take ages, but it's basically got to go north. Time to take my Star Wars ship. But yeah, it's definitely a more serious one. Focuses more on the mystery and the setting. I don't usually read romances. I just started chatting actually like an hour for like an hour today. Really nice to reconnect with a friend of mine. We talked periodically throughout the year, but it was just nice. We used to trade books a lot, and we've since moved on. Like I've gone to a different company, so it's kind of it's always a little harder to stay in touch. But we started trading books again, and he recommended one called The Wraithwood Botanist, and it's a lit RPG, which, listen, maybe some of you know what that is, some of you don't, but it's it's an interesting genre, and I was obsessed with it for a while. But it got to the point where, like, they had really cool premises, but the writing was just like, and the way he said it, and I love this, is he said it's fan fiction for straight men, and I was like, girl, yes, it is, and it was really funny, and I recommended one I did really enjoy always, that I sometimes go back to listen to the first one at least, was Dungeon Reborn, I think, by Dakota Crow, who's very prolific and kind of cheesy of an author writing style, at least from what I've read. But you know what? They're fun. I enjoyed that. It was like a sentient dungeon, sort of, and it wasn't necessarily like you're in a computer game. It was like real, but it was like it's a whole world setting, but it was based off of like the progression system, kind of how like the ones based off like Chinese dramas or whatever, or Wanshis or whatever they're called. Man, I used to know the name. Janshi? Wow, I cannot remember. But sort of like the Chinese fantasy dramas, where it's like cultivation and chi and stuff like that. So, but it's sort of based off of systems like that. But They're kind of built off like if gaming systems were real too. And again, I've not met one that was like, which I kind of think it was that really popular one that came out. I think it's technically a lit RPG, the one about Bob or whatever. What is this? Have I been to this? Who am I? Oh, I have been. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was the bridge. But oh, the one there's like a webtoon about it and everything. Carl, Dungeon Crawl Carl, I think. I think that might be kind of a lit RPG, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, it's about leveling up and stuff, but it was the dungeon one was really good. But apparently the Woodwraith, I kind of stopped reading them for a while because again, like I said, like they were kind of like a guilty pleasure. But also, like, eventually I was like, I need more sustenance. You know what I mean? Like, I need something with substance. And good writing. Like, really good. Like, pretty good. Not just, like, okay. Or like, guilty pleasure level. But he recommended me Woodwraith Botanist. And I'm very excited because it's a female main character. And sometimes I would avoid the female main character ones back in the day. Because I always felt like it was going to be, well, weird. Some sort of fantasy for whatever male author was writing it, but apparently the author for this one might be a woman, and the main character is a woman, and she was like, she wants to be like a botanist or something. She uses what she knows of like chemistry and botany to like succeed in this like new whatever setting that she's been put in. And it sounds like she's really clever, like actually, it may be a little cheesy, but like actually it makes good decisions and is intelligent, so I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued to read it, but I can highly recommend The Tainted Cup. That's the Sherlock Holmes and Pacific Rim one, which is not two things I would ever think to combine, but it works really well and I quite enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not done. I'm like 72% of the way through, but anyway, welcome to Book Club with Squirrel. This is where we're at. Speaking of more books, I'm reading the second book. I think I mentioned this one. I did. I mentioned it about the color changing skies in here. With the one I'm reading is called Shattered Pillars, but there's the first one is something in the plains. I can't remember. Anyway, really good. I'm still reading that one. But I did just pick up another one called, like, my Libby one came in for it, called First Peoples of the Great Basin. Very interested to read that. Done a lot of work in the Great Basin. And I read another book by this author about the first peoples of the Great Basin in Colorado Plateau. So it'll be interesting to read something a bit more specific. And I liked the way the author discussed things. And, like, put things together, put information together in the previous book. So I'm intrigued. It is an ebook. And those books take me sometimes a long time, like the nonfiction. I love nonfiction books of certain like kinds. Like I prefer like sort of science, natural history, stuff like that. Okay. But they can take a while to get through. It took me months to get through with other ones, right? Because they're dense, and I don't want to just like read mindlessly. It's my job too. Like it's stuff that I like. It's my career that I really enjoy, but also just like stuff I want to know, like actually, so I want to make sure I take it in, but I have it checked out for 3 weeks, but I'll probably need to check it out a few more times. But there's like 4 people waiting in line. I'm like, who are you people, and can I talk to you? Maybe this was like a quest I got like literal years ago. I have glowworms for her. You do? You know what? I forgot. I even asked you. I must have been a little distracted. Dude, your outfit is really cool. Also, yeah, that was literally years ago at this point. I hand the glowworms over. Thank you for these. Nosy will be eating even better than me tonight. Oh, here's a merchant badge. Thank you. I got a merchant badge for that? Alright. Oh my gosh, this chicken. The chickens are so mean. They push me around. Lightning in a bottle, building a queendom. I need to get a bunch of others. I want to try to get all of them, but we'll see. Three pellets of poo. Apparently the beetles evacuate their bowels and jump on their heads. I do remember that. I think I still, like, I haven't even... I still have this whole area to get to that I haven't done. Interesting. This might be a little short or a little long, depending on if I edit any of the book talk out. But this was really nice, honestly. I tend to hang out in my rooms in the evenings, and I don't know, usually I go out, but like it's like at least a couple times a week with my coworkers and friends, but towards the end of the project season, and everyone's getting kind of sick of each other, or at least getting sick of me. So, it's been nice to just chill, but it is kind of nice to also hang out like this. It's like sort of like body doubling with you guys, sort of. I don't know how to say it. It's what I don't know. I used to always just say the phrase, look like my friends, where it's like, let's be alone together, and it's like one of us would be playing a video game, one of us would be reading, all these things. But they call it, I think the word for it now is body doubling. Just even you don't even have to talk to the other person, especially if it's online. You just you just get on Discord call and just chill while you each do your own thing. It's fine. Anyway, it feels like that. So it's nice to have. I chatted with my friend earlier, chatted with my sister earlier, chatting with you guys now. I'm feeling pretty happy about myself, honestly. Feeling pretty happy. Feeling good. Despite the horrors, we persist. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. Really quick, I want to say thank you to my patrons. First off, I want to say thank you to my Acorn tier patrons, Aisling, Lauf, and Fane. Thank you guys so much again. I appreciate the support, and I want to give an extra special shout out to my friends in the Sapling tier patron. Thank you so much, Sebastian, and thank you so much, Reese Galito. I appreciate your guys' support, as always. And I want to give an extra super special shout out to my Forest tier patrons, Nightshade. Thank you so much for your support. And Chris, thank you so much for your support. As always, on the Forest Tier Patron, I'm very grateful that you guys are willing to give that extra support. So here's my extra thank you for that. And I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. And with that, I will go ahead and see you all in the next one.